Okay, hello everybody. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith. No, it is not Steve in tonight. Steve is taking a very rare time off, a little bit of a vacation. So I'll be with you this week, and Ethan, we're kind of sharing the duties. So, but tonight it is me, and we do have a pretty active forecast to talk about. We're again going to see a cool down by the middle of the week. It's really very reminiscent of what we had last week when we saw those temperatures drop for both Wednesday and Thursday. That's again going to be what it's like this week. So we've kind of gotten into this pattern where kind of mild for a couple of days, and then we get cold for the middle of the week. Of course, excuse me. Of course, last week we were actually cold on Sunday because it was game day for the Bengals-Steelers game. And then, we kind of saw a little bit of a warm up Monday, but then got cold for the middle of the week. So yeah, this week it's going to be warm again tomorrow, or at least mild, and then we start that cool down for the middle of the week. So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about any kind of snow chances. I'll even break down the various models and their anticipated snowfall totals, because it varies quite a bit depending upon the model. So welcome to everybody who's joining me right now. Yeah, we will, of course, continue to take those questions as we get through the rest of this. Anyways, look outside right now. And it is a very quiet evening. We have a little bit of a breeze. The flag here atop the U.S. Bank building blowing just ever so slightly. Not a really anything big happening out there right now as far as precipitation or winds. These are the rainfall totals that we've had so far today. I think this will probably go down as the official, because we don't anticipate any more precipitation totals. So we are looking at, so far we've picked up 4,500s there at CVG, so close to half of an inch, almost 3/4 of an inch at Lunken. Batavia around half of an inch. Elsewhere about 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of rain. Wilmington about 1/2 of an inch. Most of this fell very early this morning. Most of the kind of accumulating rainfall, or the heaviest of the rain, sorry, I'm going to move this just a little bit. The heaviest of the rain was pretty much over by about 5 to 6 a.m. And then we just had that drizzly nuisance rain. I actually, believe it or not, yesterday, which I guess was December 8th, I actually cut my grass because I've been wanting to do it for about a month, and it just got wet, and then I was out of town and whatever. And so I didn't get like that final cut in. So yesterday it was so warm I did it. And then today I actually picked up hopefully the last of the leaves. That was another reason why I wanted to cut the grass, because I still had a lot of leaves that I wanted to mulch. So, kind of crazy that we're here in, the beginning to the middle of the month, and still able to do some of those outdoor landscaping activities, if you will. We are seeing some more showers off to the west. These will arrive overnight and into early tomorrow morning. You see some of that rain across parts of Missouri moving into Illinois. Again, that's not going to be here until after midnight for most of us, but cloudy skies expected throughout the rest of the day today. Now, with those clouds tonight, it's going to keep those temperatures pretty steady, much like they've been today. Temperatures have not budged very much at all. But right now we're in the 40s and 50s. We're starting to cool off at least a little bit off to the northwest. 46 in Batesville and Harrison, 49 in Hamilton, Lunken 53, CVG 51, Falmouth 50. Normal high for this time of year is about 46 degrees, so well above normal today, and tomorrow is going to be a little bit warmer than normal too. Right now at CVG, winds out of the west around 4 miles per hour, so another warm evening as well. Not much of a wind chill to speak of. Festival of Lights, a great evening. Of course, your time's kind of winding down. It closes at 9 o'clock this evening, but great weather for that because, of course, some of the animals will be out because it's so warm. And then you can also, you don't have to, grab all of those extra layers if you're going to be checking out the animals, checking out the lights, I should say, later into the evening hours. So ideal weather, really. Tomorrow won't be too bad either, but then by the middle of the week, it starts to get a lot colder. The thing is, when it's this nice, and of course, mostly referring to the temperatures, not so much the rainfall, but when it's this nice, then it does get pretty busy there. But, you got to take the good with the bad. Richard asked if I see any deep freeze coming up. No. As a matter of fact, we actually see in the extended forecast, we actually see another warming trend. So I'll show you that here in the 14-day forecast coming up. But Yeah, we are going to see more showers again tomorrow. Those showers start to push east tomorrow evening, and then we actually dry out for a period of time before that rain changes over to snow on Wednesday. And it looks like most of the snow Wednesday is going to be very light. I don't think it's going to be very manageable. We're not talking about any kind of significant accumulations for anyone, and even where we see accumulations, it's very light, but it's cold. It's cold and blustery both Wednesday and Thursday, so that's kind of the bigger takeaway. Not so much the snow or the precipitation, but it's more so that cold air. So that snow continues to push east throughout Thursday. And then we are dry for Thursday and Friday and starting to warm things up by Friday and into the weekend. It does get warmer. Okay, so let's talk about these breezy winds because as I mentioned, it's going to get cold for the middle of the week, but it's also going to be blustery. So the wind chill is also important to take a look at. So here are those wind speeds over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, not too bad, a lot like today. And then Wednesday, we start to see those winds pick up 20, 25 miles per hour, and temperatures will only be in the 20s and 30s. So it will feel very cold Wednesday. By Thursday, we are looking at those wind speeds picking up again. Now, Thursday, the temperature, the daytime high is only in the 20s, and you're looking at wind speeds 25, 30 miles per hour. So that's going to make it feel very cold Thursday as well. Now, it does get better as we head into the weekend once we see those temperatures warm up too. But look at these wind chills Thursday morning. For some of us, single-digit wind chills to start the day on Thursday. This is not quite as cold as last week when we had wind chills that were below zero, but it is still going to be quite cold if you have to go outside. All right, let's talk about the snowfall totals. Oh, thank you, Richard. And let's go through the different models. I think we'll only be able to look at 3 that I have on here that go out that far. The high resolution ones won't go out this far. Okay, so this is the GFS. This is the American model showing about 1/10 to maybe 1/3 of an inch of snow only off to the southeast, and many of us seeing little to nothing. The European model shows a little bit more and definitely spreads it a little bit further to the north, but you're still looking at 4/10 of an inch or less, so still very manageable amounts of snow. And then if we look at the NAM, it is the highest, and it's showing as much as an inch in Wilmington, maybe closer to 1/2 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch in other locations. Now, however, keep in mind that this is what falls. This is not necessarily what sticks or what you would measure, because we've had such warm weather today, yesterday, and then tomorrow it's going to be quite mild, that it's going to take some time for that ground to cool off enough to let that snow stick. So this is what falls. This is not necessarily what you measure. So by all accounts, looking at all of those models, it's definitely manageable. So, I think, an inch or less, even if it's that much, which that's on the high end, still very manageable. Let's look at, of course, Bengals are in Arlington. We've had live reports from Joe and Jeremy. They're down there. They are inside AT&T Stadium this evening. Kickoff is less than an hour away, and of course they'll have a full recap too after the game. But it is not much warmer there than it is here. So they went all the way to Texas. I know last night when they were on the news, they were wearing like extra layers, more layers than we would have had on here. So, obviously and they do have the dome. I think it's actually like this right now where a part of it is open. They have like that retractable roof. So, but yes, it is going to be in the 60s leading up to the game, but in the 50s by kickoff. So, warm, but not much warmer than where we are. So if you know anybody who went to the game and kind of saw that on the calendar and thought, oh, I'm going to escape the cold in Cincinnati and go to Texas. Well, they didn't escape too much cold air, at least not today. All right, let's look at the 7-day forecast, and then we'll do beyond the 7-day forecast as well. I think I have it loaded in here. So tomorrow we're back to the 50s. I've actually adjusted some of these. I think I adjusted it during the 6 o'clock hour. So for some of you, if you were watching earlier, this might be new. But 50s tomorrow. We're down into the 30s on Wednesday. I warmed up one of these overnight lows. I think Friday morning we had it in the teens. I say 20, which is still close to teens. So not quite as cold, but still definitely a cold start to the day. But Wednesday and Thursday, definitely where we want you to focus. We want to alert you now to that cold air. 33 Wednesday, 27 Thursday. Lots of sunshine, very blustery winds. We'll see increasing clouds Friday and then scattered showers for the weekend and into early next week. But look at those temperatures back into the 40s and 50s. Okay, here we go. I think this might not be updated, but let's give it a shot. I don't usually update this, so it's probably from what Ethan had over the weekend. But okay, so as we look ahead and look at this, we're at Christmas Eve on the Beyond the 7-Day forecast, or what do they call it? Festivus? Isn't that what Seinfeld calls it? I don't know why I'm doubting myself. Yeah. Yeah. $1997 Seinfeld. That is so crazy. Okay, anyways. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole now with Seinfeld episodes, and that could be a deep hole. Okay, so anyways, we are looking ahead to, this is again, beyond the 7-day forecast, temperatures that are still warmer than normal. It gets a little bit cold as we get closer to Christmas, to the weekend before Christmas, temperatures in the 30s. Of course, Bengals in town this day, and actually that game is on Fox 19. They are playing the Browns, another cold one, but it's December after all. You expect that. A lot of precipitation on here, so we'll have to see how this all evolves, but definitely looking like more wet weather headed our way. So we'll keep an eye on it. Always something... Okay, so Richard asked about my education. So I went to Penn State and studied meteorology. So it's a bachelor's degree. It's a Bachelor of Science. So I went to college for a 4-year degree. I think Steve's the only one on our team that has anything beyond the bachelor's. But I'm pretty sure he has his master's. But yeah, a bachelor's degree is definitely sufficient because, again, like I knew I was going to do meteorology from the time that I went to Penn State. I was already enrolled in those meteorology classes right from my first semester. I took a meteorology class, which is awesome. Like, I mean, I'm all for people exploring what they want to do because you don't want to get into something and realize it's not for you. But it was nice to immediately start taking those like core classes for the degree because it gets you ahead. It was like some people that went to a branch campus and then came to main campus for their last 2 years. In a way, they were a little bit behind when it came to that because they didn't have those meteorology classes at their branch campus. So they took all of like the electives and they took all of the base classes like leading into like the prerequisites for some of those. And so that, you know, they still had like a good base, but it was just different. And I was able to get involved in a weather club, which is called Campus Weather Service, and do, you know, TV stuff, radio, newspaper. We were doing all of that through that club, which was so beneficial. I cannot say enough good things about where I went to school and my education because it just really, they did a great job in preparing you to be ready to be a meteorologist. It's amazing. Now, all of the like reporting and the news side of things I learned on the job, and that I did feel very behind when I started my first TV job and had to, you know, go out and be a reporter, and I had no clue what I was doing. And thankfully I had some very good mentors who I'm still in contact with today that kind of held my hand and were very patient with me. So it was very nice. This is such a pretty view as you look toward downtown because you have the Great American Tower is all in green, and then I think because this is a little fuzzy, I'm not quite sure which building this is that's red and green. And then Paycor is lit up tonight too, which is kind of cool. And then of course we're also seeing traffic on the Taylor Southgate Bridge, but it's moving, so that's nice. Is that Cincinnati Bell that's lit up? Anyways, or whatever it's called now. Okay, just want to make sure I've got all your questions. Okay, yeah, so let's talk again about that cool down. Yeah, it's going to get cold for sure for the middle of the week. Let's look at the precipitation in a different way than what I showed earlier. Maybe I'll use this for tonight. Let's see, actually. As I showed you what the models are saying as far as our precipitation, our snow specifically. So National Weather Service is calling for 0.2 of an inch or less. So again, a dusting is what most of the forecasters are calling for, models and forecasters. All of our models are calling for very minimal amounts. Okay, but let's look at this hourly forecast. Here, I'll take it full for you so I'm not blocking it. So scattered light showers tomorrow morning. At times we could have a pocket or two of heavier rain. But this is not going to last all day. It's not an all-day rain event. It's definitely scattered showers. That we dry out tomorrow evening before that snow moves in Wednesday. Now, as far as the snow on Wednesday, does not look like a lot. And actually this model, and this is something that the models have been trending to, is where more of the snow moves in during the evening hours. So actually Wednesday morning, we could have a flurry or two, but nothing that sticks because the ground's still going to be so warm. But then those temperatures start to drop, and then we start to see another round of snow moving in. And that's when we could see, maybe a dusting or so. We're looking at between maybe 1 p.m. And let's see how far this goes out. Maybe like 9 p.m. for a little bit of snow. And then it just gets very cold Thursday morning. This up just a little bit. Let's look at the actual temperatures. This is a model output, but again, 19, 20 degrees. Connersville, 14 degrees Thursday morning, but it will feel a lot colder than that. Let me actually see if I can. I've got these wind chills out here, but it only goes to, 5 a.m.? Yeah, so single-digit wind chills Thursday morning because you're going to have gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. But yeah, it's going to feel quite cold stepping outside Thursday morning. And again, it's just kind of ironic because this is a lot like last Thursday, if you remember, although not quite as cold. But last Thursday is when we had that coldest day when the wind chills were sub-zero. In many, I think we had like 4 or 5 of our local airports that saw those wind chills drop below zero. Again, this is one of the models. As far as the snowfall totals, it's very little amounts. It's very manageable amounts. Hello, Susan. I have a confession to make. Last night, and if you guys watch, especially when I do the 4 o'clock with Trisha, I'm a big Swiftie. And last night was the last Eras tour, and it was in Vancouver, British Columbia. They are 3 hours behind us, which means that the concert didn't even start. Well, she didn't take the stage until almost 11 p.m. I turned it on because you can live stream it. A lot of people, a lot of TikTokers will live stream it. Actually, her tour live streamed it yesterday, which is very rare. Usually you have to find somebody in the audience that's live streaming it. Anyways, I tuned it in and I made it for the second era. So if you're a Swiftie, that's the Fearless era. I missed Lover. And I watched the whole dang concert. It didn't end until after 2 a.m. our time. And so I was very tired this morning. I made it to the gym, and then I took a nap, and then I went for a run, and I mentioned doing some landscaping. So I'm actually pretty tired. My body is tired, and I'm sleepy. But I think I'm going to be okay today. This night shift catches up with me, it compounds itself, especially if I'm working the mornings over the weekend and then to switch. So I think, and then tomorrow I made myself an appointment in the morning. I don't know why I did that. I tried to call and push it back, and they didn't have anything else available. So I've got to get up early tomorrow morning. I've got to get up early Wednesday morning. So, but thank you, Susan. I do enjoy a lot of parts of the show. I enjoy working with people that I don't normally get to see. And, it's just a different shift, but it does make me tired. Okay. I know people are probably why is she talking about Taylor Swift again? Don't worry. I'm sure that now that the tour is over, I will talk about it a lot less. I'm a little melancholy today about it because, you always had another one to look forward to, and we don't anymore. Anyways, back to the 7-day forecast, and then I'll wrap it up with you guys. I'm sure a lot of folks... Yes, it is good that I'm young. That is true. I will tell you, though, my... last job I worked mornings, and it definitely was easier on my body then than it is now. When I fill in on that morning show, it's rough. So tomorrow we're still back into the 50s. I think We had like 49 early, but either way. So low 50s tomorrow, similar to today. Scattered showers possible again. We'll see light snow Wednesday, but very blustery winds. And then Thursday, plenty of sunshine. Again, going to be blustery. Highs Thursday only in the 20s, but it will feel colder than that because it's, again, very windy. So the wind chill is an important factor there on Thursday. And then we're in the 40s and 50s as we head into the weekend with another round of rain. So don't let that, I don't want you to think that the weekend is a total washout. It looks like most of that rain is going to be Saturday, and then it becomes a little bit more spotty Sunday and Monday, kind of pushes to the east Sunday and Monday. Okay, I think that's all that I have for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I always love when you guys are more interactive. It really helps with what we're trying to do here on these streaming shows. I will be back with you tomorrow evening. Well, of course, first I'll be on tonight at 10 and 11, and then I will have this streaming show again tomorrow, filling in for Steve for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, yeah, I will see you back here. And, yeah, if you are watching the Bengals game, of course, hopefully it's going to be a good game playing a struggling Cowboys team. So fingers crossed that plays in our advantage. But we'll have a full recap. Joe and Jeremy are there in Arlington, so they'll have a full recap on our news as soon as the game ends. I don't think we can show any of the footage until after it ends. So anyways, I will see you on Fox 60 Now at 10 and 11. Have a good one, guys.